Children, welcome to today's session on multiplication by 12 to 19. Okay, so you might be wondering what is special about multiplication by 12 to 19. So, we are going to learn multiplying any number with 12 or 13 or 14 or 15 or 16 or 17 or 18 or 19 without even knowing the tables from 12 to 19. How does that sound? Excited? If yes, then please type a yes in the chat box. You only have to know the tables from 2 to 9 to do the multiplication of any number with 12 or 13 so on till 19. So we will learn that technique of multiplying any number with 12 to 19 without having to know the tables from 12 to 19. Okay, so the sutra applied in this technique is Sopantya Dvayamantyam. Please repeat Sopantya, Sopantya Dvayamantyam, Dvayamantyam, Sopantya Dvayamantyam, Sopantya Dvayamantyam. The sutra states that it is ultimate and twice the penultimate. Okay, so just remember for multiplication by 12 to 19, the sutra that we apply is Sopantya Dvayamantyam. The sutra states ultimate and twice the penultimate. Okay, and the method that is used is single knot sandwich method. In single knot sandwich method, we just add a zero in the front of the multiplicand. Okay, multiplicand, and we add one zero in the end of the multiplicand. So we basically sandwich the multiplicand with zero, single zero. That's why it is single knot sandwich method. Okay, so let's understand how we apply these concepts to do multiplication by 12 to 19. Before we dive deep into that, we'll just do a small activity. Okay, so I just want you to draw some figures based on what I tell you. Okay, so let's say I want you to draw upward arrow. Just draw it quickly. So maybe you drew something like this, and then draw a downwards arrow, maybe like this. Okay, so I will write down what you have to draw. Okay, and then give you few seconds time, you can draw. Fine. So I want you to draw an arrow pointing towards the right. Okay, I want you to draw another arrow pointing towards the left. I want you to draw another arrow diagonal towards the right. And then I want you to draw an arrow diagonal towards the left. Okay, and then I want you to write 7 and reverse 7. Okay, so I just hope you were able to do it. So when I say right arrow, so this is right side. Okay, so right arrow looks like this, and this is left side. Okay, so right arrow, left arrow, arrow diagonal towards the right. Okay, so right is this side, so diagonally towards the right is like this. Arrow diagonally towards the left is like this. Okay, I hope you are following, and these are the same figures that you drew in your book as well. Okay, and then the way we write 7 is like this. Some people also write it like this. For now, we will stick with this as 7. Okay. So when I say reverse 7, how do you write? You write it like this, right? So the reverse 7 looks like this. Okay, fine. So this completes our activity. And if you got all of these correct, just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 6 in the chat window. And if you got 5 correct, then 5 on 6. Based on how you got the answer, you can just put your number on the chat window. All right. So let's now get into the concept to multiply a number with 12 to 19. Okay. So for this, like I told, we will be applying the sutra Sopante Dvayamantyam, which says that the ultimate and twice the penultimate. Okay. Let's understand doing this with an example so that it's much easier. Okay. So let's say I want to multiply 1, 2, 3, 5 into 12. Okay. So now step 1. Our first step is very easy, single knot sandwich method, right? So our first step is single knot sandwich method. Okay. So in this we just put 1 0 in the front and 1 0 in the end of the number. Okay. I want you to understand one thing here. So when I put 0 in the front of a number, okay. So let's say 1 2 3 5 is there. I kept a 0 here, okay. So we'll just write it separately 3 5. So tell me if this is equal to 1 2 3 5 or not. Yes or no? Please type in the chat box Y if it is yes and type N if it is no. So 0 1 2 3 5 is nothing but 1 2 3 5. If I put another 0 also, it is still 1 2 3 5 only, right? But here there is a 0 here, right? So 1 2 3 5. When I put 0 here, this is not equal to 1 2 3 5. Okay, you have to know this. So when I am placing two zeros in the single knot sandwich method, it does not mean that 1 2 3 5 is becoming 1 2 3 5 0. No, the multiplicand will always remain 1 2 3 5. It's just that we place the zeros to follow the method. Okay, and in the further steps, whatever we do, when I say you to consider multiplicand, you will be only considering from 5 onwards. Okay, so how many ever zeros you put here, it does not really matter. So all of this will become a multiplicand. Okay, but adding this will not be a multiplicand. This concept has to be clear for you. Okay. So to make it much easier, let's take a smaller number. Okay, so let us say we have a two-digit number. Okay, so let's take 23 as a two-digit number, and for that, let's say I kept a 0 here. It is equal to 23 only, right? But when there is 23 and I put a 0 here, it is not equal to 23. It is 230. Okay, so you should understand this concept. So when I say 23 into 12 and I will apply my single knot sandwich method, then if I tell you to do something with the multiplicand after applying the single knot sandwich method, you should be considering these digits. Okay, from the 3, whatever is there in the units place here, from there you should be considering, and this 0 will not be a part of multiplicand. Clear? This will not be a part of multiplicand, but a 0 will be added there as part of the single knot sandwich method. That's it. You will use it in certain steps, but when we say multiplicand, it is these numbers only. Okay. So if it's clear, please type clear in the chat box, and then we will proceed to the further steps. Okay. So now we have applied single knot sandwich method to the multiplicand. Okay. So after that, we will go to the step 2. In the step 2, you will have to listen to this little carefully. In the step 2, what we will do is we will consider this 2. Okay, and we will write it here. All right. And why only 2? Because it is 12. The number here is 12. Okay. If we were multiplying this number with 13, then we will write 3 here. If we were multiplying it with 14, then we will write 4. Like that, so on. If it's multiplied with 19, we will be using 9. That's it. Okay. So the concept would remain the same. For now, since we are doing multiplication by 12, we will write 2 here. Okay. Clear till now? If it is clear, please type clear in the chat box and type multiply or just type 2. Okay. Now I want your full attention. Okay. So type focus on the chat box. We are go into step 2. Okay. So in step 2, what we have to do is we should multiply every number of multiplicand. Okay. So what are the numbers in the multiplicand? Tell me. Only 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. The last 0 will not be part of the multiplicand. Right. So in step 2, what we will do is we'll multiply every number of the multiplicand by 2 from right to left. Okay. Right to left means this way, this arrow. Okay. And then add it to the number following it. Okay. When we say add it to the number following it, it is left arrow like this. The number following it. Sorry, right arrow. The number following it this way. Okay. We will go over this in much detail, but for now, just understand that the way we proceed is from right to left. When it comes to addition, we will do addition with the following number, this arrow. Okay. So now in step 2, we will have to follow multiple steps to arrive at the answer. I'll just explain you once now so that you get an idea of it, and then we will do it in detail. Okay. So for now, for you to understand, what we will be doing is basically we will multiply 5 and 2. Okay. First 2 into 5 we will do, then we'll get 10. Okay. That 10 we add it to the following number which is on the right side. Okay. So here multiplication, here addition will happen. Okay. So this we will do once. Okay. After that we will strike off this number. Okay. And then we will multiply this 2 with this 3. Okay. Here multiplication happens, and then we will add the whatever we get, like 3 twos are 6, and then we will add 6 to 5. Okay. If there is any carryover, we will add that also and then write the digit. I'll explain you how we write and all, but for now try to understand the concept. And then we will multiply 2 with this 2 and add with this 3, whatever we get. 2 twos are 4, 4 plus 3 7. If there is any carryover, it will be added. And then in the end, this number is also there. So 2 ones are, okay, we have to strike off so that we don't forget. 2 ones are 2, and then we will add whatever we get with this following number. 2 ones are 2 plus 2 is 4. So that 4 we will write here. And in the end, this 2 we will multiply, this we have to strike off. Okay. This 2 will multiply with this 0. 2 into 0 is 0 plus 1. Okay. So we'll get 1 as the answer here. So basically what we are doing, if you look at the format, you are multiplying it like this. Okay. So do you see the figure something like you already saw? Is it not looking like a reverse 7, right? So we just drew that, right? So this method in a way is also called reverse 7 technique. Okay, reverse 7 technique or method. Fine. Basically, it is Sopante Dvayamantyam Sutra, but in general terminology, for whatever the process that we are doing, considering the pattern, the way it looks, we call it reverse 7 technique. Okay, I know that you have not understood anything, which is totally fine because I'm going to explain it to you again. But all that I wanted you to understand here is that we will apply the reverse 7 technique where this arrow, the way we go in reverse 7 is like this arrow we will multiply and this arrow we will add. That's it. You have to just know this. Okay, so if you are clear about the reverse 7 technique, then just type reverse 7 technique. Okay, right? And now I want you to focus completely on the screen. Okay, so the same question I will do it again. Okay, fine. So first what we will have to do, single knot sandwich method, which is already there. So 0 on the front, 0 in the end, right? Now we should consider 2 from 12. Okay, and then we will write it here. Let me write it. Okay, so here we will be writing the answer. Okay, right. So first what we will have to do is multiply this 2 with this 5. Okay, so 2 into 5 is equal to 10. Okay, this 10 we have to add to this 0. Okay, so here multiplication is over and then we have added it to the 10, right? So plus 0 is equal to 10. So we write it like this, 0 here and then 1 here. Okay. Now what we will do, we will now move on to the next digit, but before that let us strike this off so that it's easy for us to follow. Okay. Then multiply this 2 with this 3. Okay, this is multiplication. So 2 into 3 is equal to 6, right? And then add it with the following number. So 6 plus 5. Okay. So 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. This 11 we can write it here. How will you write? Like this? Okay. So that it's clear. We can directly do balancing by adding and all, but for us to follow it much easily, let's write it like this for now. Okay. We'll do balancing in the next step. Now we have finished adding this, right? So we'll have to strike off this 5. So let us strike it off. Now let's move on to the next number, 2 into 2, here multiplication, and then 2 plus 3, right? So 2 into 2 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, so let's write 7 here. When we write 7 here, it means that there is 0 here. Okay, so now moving on, but before that we will have to strike off this 3 so that you're not getting confused. That's it, that's the only intention. Okay, then this 2 we will multiply it with this 1 and then we will add it to this 2. Okay, so let's do that. 2 into 1 plus 2. So 2 into 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, right? So let's write 4 here and then put a 0 here. Okay, now what we will have to do next is multiply Okay, we'll have to strike this 2 first, okay, so that it to avoid confusion. And the last step is multiply this 2 with this 0, okay, so 2 into 0 is equal to 0, and then add this to the 1, okay, plus 1, right? So we will get 1 here. All right. So just put 1 here, and then that's it. Here 0 is not really required, but for us to go with the flow, just put a 0 if you feel like it does not make any difference as such. Now we will have to do balancing. Okay, balancing is our favorite concept. Let's do balancing. Okay, so to arrive at the answer, the 0 will come as it is. This 1 will be added here. 1 plus 1 will be 2. This 1 will be added here. 7 plus 1 will be 8. This 0 will be added here. 0 plus 4 will be 4. This 0 plus 1 is 1. Perfect. So our answer is 14820. So when you multiply 1, 2, 3, 5 into 12, we get 14820. So this might look like a process, but trust me, it is really very, very easy when you practice it. So eventually, what you're doing is just single digit multiplication, right? Did you do any big calculations? Did you multiply with 12 or any other big number? No, it's just single digit multiplication and addition. That's it. And you have your answer, right? So this is very simple, and the technique that you are using is reverse 7 technique. So remember that, um, reverse 7 technique. Okay, all right. So to understand it much better, we can do one more example. Okay, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 5 into 15 maybe. So yeah, let's get into the example. So 1, 2, 3, 5 into 15. As usual, our first step is single knot sandwich method. Put a 0 in the end, put a 0 in the beginning. And then what we will have to do, consider 5 because it is 15. That's it. Okay. Place it here. 5. All right. And then what we will have to do, apply reverse 7 technique, right? If you agree with me, please type R7T. R7T. T means capital T or whatever. R70. Please type R70 on the chat window. So let's apply the reverse 7 technique. So first what we will do, multiply 5 into 5. Okay. 5 into 5 is 25. And then we will add it to the following number, which is 0. So multiplication, addition. So what do we get? 25 plus 0 is nothing but 25. So how we write the answer? We will write it at the bottom like this. Okay. So 2 here and 5 here. And we will also basically have to strike off the 0 after we write the answer to avoid confusion. That's the only intention. Okay. Now let's move on to the other number. Let us take 5 into 3. That's what we are supposed to be doing. 5 into 3 is nothing but 15. Okay. And then this 15 you will have to add it with 5. Okay. Plus 5. What do we get? 20. So just write 2 here and 0 here. That's it. Okay. So the next concept, or I mean the next step. Okay, before that what you have to do, strike off this 5. Why? To avoid confusion. Very good. Now this 5 you will have to multiply it with this 2. Okay. So 5 into 2 is nothing but 10. 10 plus 3 is, why 3? Because the following number is 3. Okay. So 10 plus 3 is 13. So this 13 we will write here. Okay. And after writing, what you have to do? Strike off this 3. Okay. Let's now go to the next step. All right. So this 5 we will multiply with 1. So 5 into 1 is 5. And then we will add it with the following number, which is 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay. So just write 7 here and put a 0 here. So after we do, what we'll have to do, we'll strike off this number. Okay. And then the last step, 5 into 0, and then add it with the 1. So 5 into 0 is nothing but 0, plus 1 is 1. So 0, 1. We write it here. Now, what we will have to do, apply the balancing technique. Okay, so let's do balancing. All right, so let's write the answer. We will drop this 5 as it is. This 2 goes here. We add 2 plus 0 and it is 2. And then this 2 comes here. We add 2 plus 3, which is 5. This 1 gets added to the 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. And this 0 goes here. 0 plus 1 is 1. Perfect. So the answer for 1, 2, 3, 5 into 15 is 18525. Okay, so that's it. I hope it is clear. 185, 2 and 5. All right, so these are the topics that we wanted to cover. We will see this in much detail in our practice session, but I just hope the concept is clear. You just have to apply the reverse 7 technique. So if you look at this, also it's like just going from here till there like this, right? So it's all like this. All right. So that is all for today's session. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for listening. See you in the practice session. Bye.